so much for joining us on our 94th edition of Lunch Out Loud Ottawa. My name is Nick Petruski.
And I'm Andrew Miller.
And of course, we are the podcast that talks to the people, places, and events that make this city the incredible city that it is. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please
Where the hell have you been?
Please like us on Facebook. If you're listening to us and you haven't rated us on iTunes, please do that. Please share. Please get more people listening to this show all about Ottawa, because this is a great city and it's a lot better than listening to commercials on your commutes.
Yeah.
About cars and whatever commercials are about these days. I don't know. Who knows?
And we're doing this one live at the Hintonburg Public House.
Yeah, we're at the Hintonburg
Public
House, an awesome place in Hintonburg, naturally. And before we get to our very special guest this week, why don't we check this out? All right, so...
Hey Ottawa, this is Luke from Southern Mud, local band from Hintonburg. You can find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, and thanks for listening to Lunch Out Loud. Remember, keep it local.
With my friends telling me they don't understand why I'm here for you. All this time I'm here for you, and I've waited all this time for you to look my way and change your mind, and I'm here for you. All this time I'm here for you.
All right, so thank you so much, Southern Mud. Of course, they played at Jeff Leeper's election victory last week or the week before, and so he told us to play them, and of course we will do that for them.
We did it.
So before we get to our special guest, just to let you know, Jen Chow is on the show today from Foodie Prince, and she'll be talking about the Ottawa Food and Wine Show that is going on this weekend.
Oh, boy.
As well as the Ottawa Pet Expo at the EY Center. So I'm very excited to see how
That's a good combo.
Food fits in with the Pet Expo. But of course, animals eat.
Yeah.
So we'll hear about maybe some gourmet things going on there. So that's going to be that's going to be very exciting. So we hope you stick around to around the 15-minute mark.
I didn't make it to the Food and Wine Expo last year when it was out there. Did you? Did they have transportation?
They're back at the convention center.
Oh, they're back at the convention.
That's
okay,
right.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't know how they were going to do transportation all the way out there.
Well, that's probably why it only lasted once.
That's a good point, Nick.
Who knows? We'll find out in a bit. So anyway, every city needs someone who understands fully the term community. The act of the act of bringing people who live close together outside from their iPods, Netflix, and technology, and interact and share smiles with those around them. Our guest today understands that money isn't the be-all and end-all, and that you can achieve happiness by giving and making those around you the chance to smile. I had the pleasure of meeting Sean McDonnell a couple years ago at a charity event, and we have been friends ever since. It's been a lot of fun. He has done so much in Ottawa to brighten people's days, regardless of their income, background, or employment. To him, that is not what it is about. So we will learn a lot about him in the next half hour. So thanks, Sean, for meeting with us. I love that you're a doer like I am, and we need more people like you. But before we get into exactly what you do in Ottawa, we'd like to get to know our guests a little more. So about what brought you to Ottawa and maybe some of your favorite hangouts.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you, Nick and Andrew, both for having me on the show.
No problem.
It's always great to kind of get to talk about the city and So how I got to the city was that I grew up in a very small town, just about an hour northwest of here on the Quebec side. So there was about 1,000 people and 10,000 cows.
Right. What little town's that?
Shawville, Quebec.
Oh, good old Shawville. You got a good fare there, though.
We sure do. We sure do. So this was, every once in a while we used to pack up the cattle cart and make our way down to the big city, right? This was the big trip, making our way down to Ottawa.
How many times a year would you make the big trip?
Oh, God. It took almost 7 days to get here. no, it only took us about an hour.
And then an axle would break.
Yeah, and then you got, when a cattle would die along the way, you'd have to know.
Somebody to get scurvy.
It wasn't very often because my mom hated driving in the city, and my dad owns his own business, and so he was working all the time. So we didn't get down here very often, but when we did, it was a big deal. We used to come down to skate on the canal. It was a big deal for us. Yeah. My dad used to take me out, and now I live in the neighborhood where we used to park, which was always fun. I didn't realize that until I moved in there. I'm like, hey, we used to drive to the Glebe Park down here, and then
that's cool.
And then we'd skate right here.
Did you have a lot of school trips then?
Yeah, we'd always have a lot of school trips. We'd up all the museums. We'd up the Museum of Civilization.
Science and technology is always a big favorite with the kids.
We did we do the Parliament Hill. We did just going to the Rideau Center, right? They let us go to the Rideau Center. Bring us to Sugar Mountain, right? Get all the candy fill-ups for
they do that last and they send you home to your parents.
Yeah, absolutely. So
get you quiet on the bus, or loud for a bit, and then you're quiet the next
knock you out in the bus on the road home.
There you go.
Sugar down. But I've been in Ottawa now for almost 14 years now. And,
right on.
I've loved it ever since I came here. So I came here to go to school, and thought I wanted to be a computer engineer. So I went straight from high school to college here and skipped that CEGEP nonsense, but was pretty excited, and then I realized that actually everything that I was doing I hated, so had to retreat back to home and came back here again then. After we did some projects back home, I started teaching kids how to read through baseball and that kind of stuff. That all came about in a weird way.
You taught kids to read through baseball?
Yep, so when I moved back home, a friend of mine had told me that she wished her kid could learn how to read a little bit better, and I said, pfft. At that point I was like, school sucks, I could teach a kid how to read through baseball. And we laughed about it, and 2 weeks later I called her up and I said, yeah, we're going to do this. I said 26 baseballs, A to Z, and we had 12 kids come out, and we started playing around, and a couple months later we had 7,000 baseballs with 7,000 words written on them, and
wow.
Kids went from not being able to read to writing their first book. So I was like, this is kind of, I was all just pulling this out of my butt. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right?
That's where most good ideas come from, though.
Yeah, we were just doing stuff, right? I just wanted to do something with these kids. I thought maybe getting them active. They took charge of their education. They were setting up all their own goals and stuff. So then I started figuring out, wow, I didn't want to work with technology at all. I want to work with people. And people excite me, and their passion and their excitement gets me going. So moved back here, and then it's been nonstop ever since.
That's awesome.
And so before we get into more of that, your favorite hangouts in Ottawa, or events that people might not know about that you go to, because I know I see you at many of the events.
Yeah, I try to get out as much as possible. I know a lot of people think the city is a quiet little spot, but you have to dig around a little bit, and you can find a lot of really cool events going on. So I love almost anything going on at the Arts Court. There's always something going on at the Arts Court. Yeah. Some kind of fringe play. The Fringe Festival is always amazing. Yeah. Just coming out here to the Hindenburg Public House all the time. They've got trivia nights. They're always doing something here. There's always trivia nights. There's
Sunday
always,
night trivia nights.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, there's some new art on the wall there, a lot of vinyl, that stuff.
Really cool
Even
art.
sleeves from vinyl right in front of us here, which is
really cool art here. Andrea Stokes.
Yeah, Andrea Stokes had unveiled this show here not that long ago at the beginning of the month. And,
right on.
It's always interesting. They do open mics here on Saturday as well, and it's been there's lots of little pockets in the city. I love going out. I go out to Sens game a lot too, so I love checking out Sens games. I am not going tonight because
who's up tonight?
Minnesota,
yeah. Wow. So I'm not tonight because there's two other things going on tonight. So the Studio Cafe is having its final show before they close. So with Crystal Bashara, so they're winding down after a valiant effort of trying to support some arts community, and
it's tough. Yeah.
So it's a little bit sad, but it's going to be a good night. And then Railbender Studio is hosting. Matt Dubé is just coming fresh off of an arts tour, kind of all around the world. So
nice.
He's
is he one of their tattoo artists there as well?
He's not. He's just a local artist, and they love Railbender loves hosting artists there. So they're giving tattoos, and then they're showing.
That's right beside what's currently Beyond the Pale, right on Hamilton Street.
Yeah, they're right there. Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. So there's always stuff going on like that. So that's why I'm not going to the Sens game.
And how was the Death Cafe last night?
Oh, the Death Cafe was really good. So Kate Jury hosted that, and it was packed. I don't think they had a ticket left. So that's another interesting thing that I hadn't really known a whole lot about until I started learning about it. It's a spot for people to go and talk about a subject that people don't really want to talk about. So it was a lot of strangers talking about death, dying, and how we deal with it. So it was it was really interesting. Apparently, it happens all around the world. So
apparently,
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, but I love.
I thought you meant death. I was it does. Very clever.
That's what I definitely like about you is that you will go to your comfort zone and try something new in Ottawa instead of saying, "No, there is nothing for me. Why not try something new?" That's what I love that this city affords us to do.
Oh, and food. If you're looking for food, I mean, there's so many food things going on now.
What's your favorite little restaurant that you like going to?
Oh God, I don't know.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, that's a hard one. It depends on what the night is. Depends on what you're feeling.
We were just talking seafood before we even started this, and we all came up with La Pointe's and Pelican Grill.
That's great for a colder day like this. So
that's it. I'm craving some lobster bisque big time.
Well, it's about time, right? We're gonna get a little lobster bisque on a bun, and it's gonna be really good.
All right, so Sean, you've done so many little things to invigorate the community around Ottawa. So let's talk about some of those because a lot of people might have seen them, smiled, and go, who started that? And a lot of them are started from your mind, just like the baseballs. So, what are some more of your ideas that you've come up with since you've been to Ottawa? Yeah,
so a couple long time ago, when I first came in here, so the company we originally started with was Sport for Social Change, and then we moved into Creative Vision, and Creative Vision was all about, just getting people engaged back in their community, getting to meet people.
Sometimes you started this yourself?
Yeah. So about 10 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
We started that, so we've been plugging along for quite a while. Some of the ones we've done here, some of the ones we've done in the States, but I guess maybe the first one we ever did here was super simple. We had I don't know, there was probably about 100 little paper bags, and we went around one night and we put in we put in little candles so they'd light up, and we stuck in crayons, we stuck in coloring pads and whatnot, anything that you'd play with as a kid that maybe you wouldn't stop to do anymore. And, we just put them out one night, and I wanted to see what adults would do if they came across them. So it was literally called a bag of play from childhood. And
these bags didn't catch on fire, right?
They did not catch on fire.
This little candle in a paper bag right there.
So we did it.
Normally you'd put something else in there when the bag's on fire. But
so we put it in. So we piled a bunch of snow in there. Because it's always winter here. So we piled a bunch of snow in there. We had a great big long metal tube in there that was transparent. And we stuck the candle in there, so the bag kind of glowed as people were walking to work in the morning, and lots of stuff kind of happened out of that. So
how many bags approximately?
We had about 100 and some. So,
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
And which part of town did you do this in?
We were in the market, and then we went down Spark Street and kind of down in towards along the canal. So it was kind of fun to watch people. We poked around. I had a couple friends of mine, and we poked around and watched what people would do with them, and some of them picked them up, and we have no idea what people did with them, but it was just a chance to have a little bit of fun. So we did that.
Well, maybe next time you should put something in there so that, like a card or something, so people can, report back on what they actually did.
This was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, this was before. This was
before email and.
There was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, Twitter. Nobody was doing that.
We're gonna get to what he's doing now. So after that, what did we get to?
We're getting there. So when we started to learn that, right? We started to learn that, we should start getting people talking about some of this stuff. And as YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff came along, we started doing weirder things. So one of the things we did not that long ago, probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we had Desairs come out, and Desairs, the art project or art store, right? They donated us $1,000 worth of art supplies.
Oh wow!
And we took a whole whack of art supplies and we dumped them out on Major Hills Park. And we just invited anybody that was walking around. We harassed people to come and paint. We just said, come, paint, color, do whatever. right? These were parliamentarians walking back to the office, and they were down there, hand painting, and
I'm sure
whatever.
They were eager to not go back to work.
Some of them
sure,
definitely
I
wanted
can
to
stop and
stick
do a
around.
painting.
So we did all these paintings, and it was pretty interesting how many people had stopped, and we had different kinds of canvases. So we asked people, if you paint this kind of canvas, put it around the city. If you have this one, donate it to a charity. If you have this one, give it to somebody else. It was kind of fun. But the best story of it was that I have a painting at home right now, and there was 4